And what you're seeing right now on the screen is a live shot of our sun, taken from some telescopes in the Canary Islands. NOC has an astronomy program, and as such, we do maintain a number of SLU licenses so that we can access the variety of telescopes. And we can access telescopes in the Canary Islands, in Chile, and in Australia. And we can actually set up and do a variety of images. And during the day, they have at the Canary Islands, they have the solar camera up. And so this is a solar camera that's showing our sun as it's facing the earth. So I want you to notice that. We are at a time of solar maximum. If you look over here in the corner, this is the scale of the earth compared to the sun. This little dot right there, that's the earth compared to the sun. So there's a sunspot right now that's about 3 Earths in diameter. So we've got that. But this region right here of all of these sunspots are really facing us. And it's been these kinds of sunspots that have been allowing us to have the auroras that we've been seeing all the way down to down to our particular latitudes. If you go to a site called spaceweather.com, they're actually showing you this sunspot complex as it's rotating. And right now they're saying that there's about a 35% chance of a solar flare coming out within the next 24 hours, which then means about, depending on how fast the solar winds are, will depend on how fast those ions actually reach us. And so you can probably be looking for more auroras coming up. Apparently there was a chance for an aurora last night as well. And if you want to follow auroras, they're being able to see the northern lights. This is the observatory out of Fairbanks, Alaska, and they will give you our aurora oval to show you where things come down, and they will give us those down into those pieces. Over the weekend, we had another solar flare, and it actually disrupted ham radio communications. So we do watch that. And when you guys take physics, those of you who are taking physics 2 next semester, we talk about this when we get to magnetism. But I wanted to show you because we are right now, you won't know if we've reached a solar maximum until we've gone through it. This is one of those things that we know it when we pass it, but we don't know when we're right there. And right now we know we are getting close to a solar maximum, or we're just now getting through our solar maximum, because if you go back here and you look at the days with, we're now in 2024, we've had 0 days without a sunspot. And that's now going on almost 3 years that we've had no days without a sunspot. But if you go back here, like in 2018 or in 2019, we had 281 days where we had no sunspots. But right now we are in a very active time stretch, and you can see that the numbers that they're looking at, and then this region here, and then you can see the live picture. Now, sometimes on these live pictures, you can actually see that the sun has different flares. In fact, I can go and look at my collection of photographs, because this is my account on SLU. And so I actually have a number of photographs, and I actually do a little bit of fun stuff associated with it. So I'm going to look at my photos. So here are my photos of the sun. And you can actually go through, and like this photo right here, you can actually see a solar prominence or a solar flare. So I actually caught that one. That one happened on the 27th of September. I've got others in here. We also have different filters that they will routinely use, where they'll filter it out, and you can see lots of stuff that's happening in the corona on the sun. Let's see if I got another good one. I've got some really cool ones. There's one that you can see that they were focusing in on the solar activity as you've got that. And so I've been following it for a while, but this is a really cool one as well. This was in August, and you can actually see that was August of last year, where we've got some really nice solar prominences that are coming out that we've got images of. So the SLU allows us to do a lot of things, allows us to do fundamental research on astronomy, allows us to follow a variety of pieces. I've got in here, if you look at it, I actually captured the supernova a couple of years ago. So it's just something kind of fun, but just wanted to kind of highlight that there's a possibility that you might see the auroras coming up. Wanted to go through and look at the calendar real quick and look at our due dates. The chapter 8 homework is due next week. My plan is to work on equilibrium problems today and do some more of those types of problems like we were doing last Friday. Then on Friday, my plan is to look at angular, or start into moments of inertia and start into angular momentum. And then we will probably be finished with chapter 8 on Wednesday of next week. So I probably will do just a few more examples, but that means that, guess what? A test is coming up. So the test will probably be released Friday of next week, because we will have finished all the material, and it will be due the following week. So the test will be due before Thanksgiving. And then we'll be able to cover chapter 9 before Thanksgiving. So we're in really, really good shape. I'm really pleased. In fact, I'll be able to do a thermodynamics lecture, even though it will not be on the final, but I will be able to do a thermodynamics lecture for those of you that have to do the MCAT. So I'm really pleased as to where we are and where things have happened. Now, I know several of you in this class are OSU students. I did verify with Cheryl Nelson at the the Stillwater campus. I think you guys are going to get notification of exactly when you can enroll for Physics 2. And my understanding is I think it opens up right before Thanksgiving. And so for those of you who are strictly Zoom that are coming in from OSU, you probably need to be aware that that's when those enrollments will allow. And I would do it quickly, because I know this class has a tendency to fill up. So just be aware of that. For those of you that are in my laboratories, because I know several of you are in my virtual laboratory and several of you are in my physical laboratories. If you are in my laboratories, I have gone through and I have graded everything that was due up until right now. I think the only thing that's not been graded, some of you had already turned in the lab that's due this week, but I have graded everything. Please let me know if a grade is not showing up. I think I have a couple of you that I've sent emails to that says it looks like you turned it in, but Blackboard is not letting me see it. And I've asked a couple of you to send me a copy of that lab. So just be aware that I have gone in and you all should be up to date as of yesterday on the laboratories. I did have a couple of you let me know that something hadn't come through, and it was a case of where I hadn't clicked an extra button. I'd already graded the lab, but you just weren't able to see the grade. So those things are there. So that's just to have everybody aware of what's happening and keeping this on track. Questions?